Alexa, I love you.
Thanks for saying I love you.
Cheers. We'll start off that way. Clink.
Cheers.
It's like Despicable Me. Clink. You gotta clink it.
Important pinky.
Clink. Alright. Welcome to episode 6.
Pretty sure?
Yeah, 6.
You know, my mama says it's rude to talk with your mouth full.
Keyword, your mama.
Yo, ma.
Ooh, that was good. That's good. Alright, I like it.
Wasn't funny.
I thought it was funny. We're just gonna do the whole show with me eating this Pepsi float.
I was burning a burp.
Oh, I'll have one. It's too good. I've been wanting one of these forever. Oh yeah. Anyway, so we went home back to Glasgow, Kentucky last weekend, and
Back where they grow cows and cornfields.
but they got cows here.
I haven't seen any.
I thought you seen some cows over here.
Yeah, like an hour out.
Well, we saw. Well, it's still here. I'm sorry, this is too good to pass up. Anyway, so we back home. As I stated earlier in previous episodes, the church band. This is only 2 of a kind. The church band. Oh, well, it is on 2. Lynn Wilson wants one. Oh, we're supposed to shout out somebody this week.
We are?
Yeah, Haley and
Why?
Matthew. She asked me to.
What'd they do?
Bad jerk.
Kidding.
Haley and Matthew Day. Shout out. There it is. There it is.
Because Haley, I think, watches us a little bit.
I bet she sips through.
We love you, Haley.
She gets to the NASCAR part.
I don't think Matthew watches us, so Matthew doesn't get the shout out. Technically.
How many people think actually watch this?
Rondo.
Anyway,
That's
so
not bad.
huh?
Not bad.
I spit in it. That's why. So anyway, we opened for Cain last weekend. Man, that was a heck of a show. The number I'm hearing as far as audience is 3,000 people is the number I'm hearing.
Really?
I don't know if I told you that.
Who said that?
Garrett, his brother told him, brother-in-law.
Dang.
So we're hearing 3,000 people is the number I'm hearing. It didn't look like they made from stage, not degrading anybody, just sometimes numbers always look smaller when you're in person.
It really did.
Yeah, so maybe so. But anyway, so the number we have is 3,000, so. But it was a good show. We practiced Thursday morning. We got home, we got to Nashville about 6:30. Well, actually before that.
5:30 we landed in Nashville.
Oh, that's right. So anyway, then we got back to Bowling Green, Glasgow about 9 or so. Cause we stopped at 8 a little bit and talked. I had to pick up drum kit. But till Friday comes around, which is the day of the show.
Don't forget we went kayaking Thursday.
You did, I didn't.
Oh yeah, I did.
No, you went Friday.
You got a haircut.
No, Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
You got a haircut. I went kayaking with the family. Then we went to Cracker Barrel with both family. Cracker Barrels
Oh yeah, we
with
took.
both families.
We family so big we had to have 2 Picking up Cracker Barrel, one of my trucks from Cracker Barrel.
In my backpack.
Okay.
Haha.
I was about to hurt you.
Sure.
Mentally. This whole show's gonna be slick on this big shot. So, alright.
Here's the Pepsi float.
Pepsi float, sorry. Anyway, so Cain, we were supposed to set up at 3 o'clock. Cain showed up around 1:45. Started setting up about 2 o'clock. So we didn't need that big of a setup or big hoorah for our setup. We had just drums, tracks, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, 2 vocalists. So it wasn't anything major we needed. But of course, that's the first time any of us have played a show of that size or anything like that. So I was real nervous the whole day. Garrett could tell.
I could tell.
I was about to pass out and throw up. I could wait for the show to be over. Once I got on stage though,
I was like, how can you be so excited for a show for so long? And then the day arrives and you're like, so sick to your stomach, you really don't even want to play anymore. And then as soon as it started, you were good. I knew you would be.
I have stage fright still a little bit.
The people person has stage fright.
Huh?
I know, I get it.
Well, it's like when I drag raced, and I always get nervous when I drag raced.
But it's funny. But you did great, and I knew you didn't have fun when you got it going.
Yeah. If you had a heart rate monitor every time I drag race, my heart is coming out of my chest.
I need a heart rate monitor.
They do them for the NASCAR guys sometimes at SRX.
Anyone for you when you drum and do anything?
Drumming's not too bad. Now, it was bad during rehearsal because it's like the peak of the heat of the day. It was right in the sun. So I was all out for Promise Keeper. The song was over and I sat there like, this ain't gonna be good. I went too hard. The first song in I almost said hot laps. Well, pretty much was a hot lap because it was hot. Garrett brought some waters, like 10 waters. I think I drank 8 of them. Like in the first 15 minutes we got back, I was just hot. I never could go down until the show started.
I would like to say a special shout out to all of our friends and family who came out to the show to hear the guys, to see us since we'd come home, and it was just really fun to catch up with everybody. Had a lot of people there. Got to see a lot of our friends and have fun.
Larry Greer made a special appearance. It was good to see you, man. And Kelly and oh crap, I can't think of her name. Emmy, good to see you too, Emmy. I was like, oh shoot, I can't think of her name. That's bad. So it was always good to see the Greers. I love them to death. Philip Cannon, you're a fuddy dud. I know you had to work. You quit your job, as Larry would say. Quit your job. Come see me, North Carolina. So anyway, this show's going off the rails. I don't care. It's fun. We skipped a week because of
We
going
did
home.
skip a week.
Well, for good reason. Also, Cain was really good though. Hopefully, well, they needed a keyboard player. They needed a keyboard player, so I put my hat in the fight. Hopefully.
You haven't heard anything, have you?
No, I probably won't. But if he watches the show by chance, hey, don't forget about me.
He won't.
He won't. He won't forget about me. Won't answer me.
Won't watch it.
No, he won't. Well, I mean, you got they came from Michigan. No, they were in Nashville Wednesday night. I don't know where they went to Michigan the next day. He's got time to watch the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we also got Granddad an Alexa for Father's Day. He's on dialysis, so sometimes he's at home by himself while Mom and Uncle Bill at work. So we thought we'd get him Alexa to hook up to his TV, listen to music. So I went to call him after the show like to see if he was flirting with Alexa or not.
It was pretty funny. We were asking Alexa all sorts of questions, but he really got into it asking her to play music, so that was funny.
Of course, it was like Chuck Berry, B.B. King, Chris Stapleton.
For anybody who knows Granddad, you can just imagine Granddad with a Alexa. And that's enough said.
Apparently, Uncle Bill and Granddad tried to get Alexa to turn TV on, not realizing it didn't work. So anyway, so we set it up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Finished setting it up at 1 o'clock in the morning for the TV and stuff, so they could watch the Jeffersons while Hannah showered. And we did a drive-in movie Saturday night. What else happened?
Went to a wedding Saturday.
Yeah, Chelsea Wallace, Willoughby, and Dakota Willoughby got married. Congratulations to them too. So happy for them.
Pretty wedding.
Anyway.
Got to see my little Jonah and Carson.
The Hemmings. So, but because like I said, I'm terrible when it comes to sermons. We didn't go to Sojo because we were back home, obviously. So we went to Hillvue Heights, our former home church. But Steve Ayers, as far as the Steve Ayers sermon, that's like the best I've heard of. And that's not a knock on him, it's just like the best. It's just like rare form. Of course, with like the new Supreme Court rulings and just being June. I think it's the most straightforward he's been in a while. I think with everything, because we all know how he feels, especially as a pastor. But it was real nice to hear him be straightforward about when it comes to stuff about pride and life. I listened to the 9:30 service while I was at work today, which is Thursday. But I listened to it at work a little bit. He was even more explicit, not cussing obviously, but like explicit about it. Talking about how many for so many since the 70s we've been killing so many different lives and he talks about pride. He didn't mention just gay pride, just pride in general. How pride can be pride is sinful. Because pride kind of elevate yourself above God and what you want. And it's always one of those sermons that kind of trips you up, because especially when he talks about passions in life, talking about our passion versus God's passions. It's one of those sermons that always makes you think about, the stuff I want to do. Is that against God or for God? Because, I think it was either him or Jamie made in a sermon was saying God won't bless his competition. Like, for example, obviously me, the racing thing, if I put that before God, God's not going to bless that. Now, granted, like I said, you may do well, but in the long run...
something that's coming between you and him.
So, pride's basically that, there's stuff you put between you, yourself, and God, or stuff you elevate above God. So I thought he did really well, because, some pastors will scoot around topics of gay marriage and abortion and stuff like that, and not tell how they really feel. I think he did a good job of doing it, but also not being, pushy, if that makes sense. Of course, I'd give him trouble too.
Sure.
But yeah, exactly. But he said, he basically said pride in general, especially when it comes to sin, because it wasn't like I said, he didn't have to hound on it for 20 minutes for him to make his point. He said that he was done, and he wasn't rude. And me and Hannah had a good discussion with Steve, and even the pastor here, where we just discussed how sad it is you have to ask a church what they believe about certain issues, when it shouldn't be a question of what they believe, honestly. It's sad that you have to ask about where they stand on marriage, stuff about life in the womb and stuff like that. And like I said, if you have a varied opinion from us, I'm not going to hate you. I want to hear why. And that's not a rude way, just... in my mind, I think as a Christian, you need to know the other side so that way you can defend your position. And also, like Steve Rose even said in the message, you have to meet people where they are. You can't do that if you don't know their side. And like I said, there's some stuff there's foolishness that you don't have to listen to. But like I said, like me and her talked about like the abortion thing a lot. We're well, you can't really say we're pro-life. Of course, I think that word has almost kind of lost its meaning too now. Pro-life, because I think that's more... I don't think pro-life is really pro-life anymore. I think it's more like kind of like how you have Republican Democrats. It's not the same thing as it used to be, if that makes sense. Because I think people almost use it politically now instead of for like actually caring about somebody. That's another thing. So that'd be a whole nother episode. But but like the abortion thing, like I understand where some people come from. I'm watching the time, Hannah. Good grief.
What?
Good grief. Anyway, I told you to talk about something important. But it's like. I'm gonna lose train of thought because what was I talking about?
Pro-life.
Pro-life. Anyway. Oh, well, it's like I understand where people come from, but either side of the thing, I don't have to agree with you or think you're right. Like I said, especially having a foundation in Christianity and being a Christian, I have stuff I think that is the truth, or I know is the truth. But I will listen to you about what you talk about because, like I said, I've had quite a few friends that are either Muslim, gay, atheists, even, or just whatever. But I still love them the same. Like Steve says in the Bible, so you have to meet people where they are. You don't have to accept where they are, per se. Not like in saying like you push them away because they're gay or because they're drunk or addicted to pornography. But you accept that person. Because like I said, there's sins in my life that in God's eyes are equal to whatever is out there with them.
It always comes back to you love the person but not what they do.
Mm-hmm. And granted, like I said, I think if you're going to be a Christian, like I said, you need to have that dialogue. Excuse me, that was my burp for the week. But I think you get so big-headed that because you are a Christian, you are better. But like I said, yes, to me, Jesus is the only way to heaven. Jesus is the only way of life. But at the same time, Jesus ate with sinners. Like, he understood where those people came from, but he didn't want those people to stay where they're at. Same thing for us and for me. Like, NASCAR, like, they've gotten big into, like, whatever political movement is out there right now. And I've done some media for it. I'm not always pleased with doing it, but I've always seen it as an opportunity to meet those people where they are. Obviously, I'm not going in there doing street preaching or whatever, or even a gospel message, but it's like, I'm going to treat you with the same respect and stuff like that, but if you ask me how I feel, I will tell you. I'm not going to be rude about it, but of course, all that stuff's touchy subjects, because like I said, in today's culture, if you disagree with somebody, they think you hate them. We don't hate anybody whatsoever, no matter how rude you are to us. But and like even comes to the world of politics, I think we got to take a step back and stop be so emotional with it. Because even on the Republican side, there's a lot of emotion tied up in it. People won't admit, because then it's even wrapped up in tradition.
Well, when emotions get in the way, then you can't think clearly.
Yeah.
Can't get your facts straight either.
Yeah, it's hard because, like I said, granted, like I said, nobody watched the show, which kind of a blessing when I talk about stuff like this. But, you know, I always fear that one person sees it and there you go. I've said, huh?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but you know, it's just one thing you never like. I don't like conflict, and it's not really worth it. It's worth telling the truth about gospel and sin and stuff like that, but it's not worth like losing sleep over something so stupid as like a 30-minute podcast that nobody really cares about, but me and you and Rhonda, Mama, and your mama. But anyway, oh yeah, this is out here. So. Hannah, do you want to tell them about the trip on the way back home? You want to do it or you want me to do it?
So our flight back here to North Carolina.
I need a drink if you're going to tell the story.
Was a later flight. We flew out of Nashville at 8:30 where we were supposed to. Our flight ended up getting delayed an hour, so we didn't end up leaving until about 9:30. And it was funny because we hit turbulence over Nashville, which I I like to fly and I don't mind a little turbulence, but this was like the plane dropping, like where you feel your stomach dropping, and I was like,
it's like the rapture was happening.
I was like, I was grabbing Kim's arm, and bless his heart, the little lady on his other side was grabbing his arm. She's like, I don't like to fly.
When we're talking, and I was watching the race, and she grabbed my arm, and I dropped the race out of it. I was like, oh, dang it.
She was like, oh, I'm sorry, but it was funny. But as soon as we got out of Nashville, that's pretty much where the weather was. The rest of it was smooth sailing.
No, it wasn't. You're lying.
I said the flight was smooth sailing.
Yes.
Until we landed, we got our baggage claim, you know, all that, got out. And then we landed at about, we got out about 12:30. We may or may not have lost our car.
So
we kind of couldn't remember where we parked it.
No, I'll explain the situation. So it's been a stressful week for one, and I was ready to get the hell out of here. Literally, just
heading home.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I was ready to get. Every time it's like, I will get out of this place. This week's been better. Last week, I was down done. So,
well, we flew out at 4 in the morning when we flew to Kentucky. And this is the first time, mind you, that we've driven to the airport. And so we're looking for parking.
I want to do cheap parking.
And we found cheap parking. It was a little bit further out, but you know, we thought it was an overflow parking lot. But it was only $8 instead of 12 or 10 or whatever it is, 12. And so we're like, heck yeah, $8 parking. Anyways, so when we come back home to North Carolina and we get on the bus and they're asking, where's your parking lot? We said, well, it's the furthest overflow. We don't remember seeing a name, and we knew we were row I.
Well, we assumed, because like we flown out of Nashville a couple times, like 2 or 3 times.
Nashville's pretty straightforward as far as like their parking.
And like pretty much, so here's what trips us up. So Nashville owns all the parking at their airport. So anywhere you park it is a Nashville lot. Here is not that way. You have Charlotte International Airport parking, then you have
like all these other
parking.
independent parking, and we didn't know that. And so we took about every
so
bus
embarrassing, though.
you could take, driving all through the different Charlotte airport parking lots. And then finally they realized, I bet you parked in one of the off-site parking. So they take us back to the terminal.
No. You skipped the part where he dropped us off in the middle of the road. Was going to have us walk in the dark with no sidewalk.
He drops us off in the middle of the road. That's right. Because I think the independent parking is just, there's 2 of them, but the one of them is right up here around the corner. There's no sidewalk to walk on. It is pitch black. Remind you, at this point, it's like 1:30 in the morning.
I'm black. I was wearing black. That wasn't gonna fly.
I'm like, we're not walking in the dark. So we get back on the bus and we go back to the terminal, and then we finally find the bus for the off-site parking lot, and they tell us there's 2. We said, okay, well, we'll get on one. We got a 50-50 chance. We'll hit them. First one was a no-go. So we go back, we get on the second bus to the second lot. I'll wrap it up.
No, just the whole trip.
So we get to the second lot, we're like, yes, this looks familiar. This looks familiar, this is it. So it drops us off, and we're like, I remember it right here, but we remembered being in row I, and there's no row I. We walked that whole parking lot up and down, every single row.
I will say that, and I really didn't say anything because I said, maybe I'm wrong. Like I remember the shack at the beginning of the parking lot being white. That one was yellow and white.
Most of it looked familiar. There were a few things that were like, I don't remember that. But we're like, you know, it was 4 in the morning. It was a long weekend, you know, whatnot. We walked up and down. Then we're like, what are we gonna do? So at this point, it's like, I don't know, 3 something in the morning. We both have to go to work the next morning. So finally, we call it Uber. We're like, we're just gonna go home. We'll get a car. Come back where we can actually drive and have some light. We're both so exhausted. We're about not sure whether to laugh or cry at this point. So we go to meet our Uber at the entrance. On our way, a lady talks to us, and she finally mentions that there's actually a 3rd parking lot, which I had previously asked the bus drivers. I said, okay, well, we know there's these 2. Are there any other independent parking structures? And they said no. So this lady told us there was actually a 3rd one, and we're like, well, that has to be it. I mean, where else is our car? So anyway, we get in the Uber, we drive all the way back here. It's about a 25-minute drive back to the house, pick up his car, drive back to the airport, and go to that other parking lot. And we found our car right away. It was right where we thought it was. In I, right where we pictured it to be and everything. So we got our car, thankfully, finally. I was about ready to cry at that point. We went to go get chicken nuggets because we were starved at that point, and McDonald's was closed.
If we waited an hour, they would have opened. That's how late it was.
We finally got home about 4:30. By the time we got into bed, it was 5. And then we both got up at 6:30 to go to work the next morning. So we were running on an hour and a half of sleep Monday morning.
And then I fell asleep. We filmed Backseat Drivers, which is a NASCAR show, which you can watch it. I was in the audio room, supposed to be checking audio. I just remember going, like this a couple times, and I found something to fidget with. I dropped it, out. I stand up, out. So I went and got a bag of popcorn, ate, out. I went to the edit bay to edit the show, out. So when I left about 3 o'clock, it was like driving like this, like, oh my goodness, Lord. Could you please, like this car, like a Jetsons, and let me fly past the highway, please, Lord.
My first half of Monday at work, I was watching training videos, and I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, they're boring enough anyway, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, and then I have to take an assessment after it. I kind of didn't pass it the first time, but I have 2 attempts, so I did pass it second time. But second half, thankfully, I was working with patients, so that kind of woke me up a little bit for the rest of the day. But yeah, that was our exciting adventure coming home.
Now for racing trips, we decided to get a big flagpole for the vehicle so we could pick it out. That's not as bad. You usually end up finding it, but when you got thousands of vehicles and when you got like the most vanilla vehicle ever, a CRV.
It's not actually vanilla, it's blue.
Vanilla, but
we thought we'd get a big old flagpole and a big old American flag to put on our car. That way when we go to races or we go to airports, we come out, we've got this big flag sticking above and we can find our car right away. So
anyway,
that's what we're gonna do.
Well, we got 8 minutes, so we gotta wrap this up. So granddaddy, oh, this is your granddaddy, this is your granddaddy. Sorry, here you go. That's not good when you got a single come out the next day. That's not a good thing to do. Anyway, if you know Mr. Brown, you know this is your granddaddy. So granddaddy misses us a lot. So we were sitting there watching.
We love you, Granddad.
We're sitting there watching NASCAR race. Of course, I can't remember his eyes are shutting up, but it sounds better if he's got his eye. Sounds better if he's got his eyes shut. So let me get in granddaddy mode. Now it's just me and you talking. Just me and you talking. Just when y'all leave, just some sadness. Just want to get in the corner and cry when y'all leave. It's just sadness. Just feel all alone. So it's like. Well,
then I was about to cry.
I was like, well, dang it, Granddad, now we can't go back home. And then, so he sat there, he said, I tell you what, you come home, I'll pay for the truck, I'll pay for the lease. I said, I'll buy you a race car. I said,
and Granddad would be broke.
No. So I was like, okay. So I quit that little NASCAR job in heartbeat. So what's that race car we gonna get? He said, well, you want a V6? Well, I want a V8. So you want a straight shift or an automatic? So, well, automatic's probably better for drag racing. So I'm sitting on Facebook Marketplace. Here's an IROC Camaro for $8,000, so that's a little high, but if you want to get something good. So we set, because Bristol has a big bracket race this weekend, pays $15,000 each day for foot brake drag racing. So for those you don't know, foot brake drag racing, you just brake, gas, let off the brake, go. That's foot brake racing, you know. Anyway, so dumb it down for some of y'all. Anyway, I just had to be mean. So anyway, so we said, well, we can get a rollback or a flatbed truck, just drive up on there, go down to Bristol a couple days. So when I said, I can't go Friday because I got Dallas. We can go Friday night, Saturday, and come back on Sunday. I said, well, yeah, we can do that. So if we make it to the second round, we got our money back. Okay, it ain't a bad deal. So we had it all planned out. Want to do it, but I was entertained, and he was too. So in 2023, if I'm back in Kentucky, don't say a word because me and Granny are going drag racing.
Yeah.
What? We go dirt racing. He's able to do dirt racing too.
Okay.
But I said it's cheaper to go drag racing right now. So, Granddad, we're going to have Black Ghost Motorsports.
It was sad leaving. It was good to be home, see everybody, see my cat.
And you didn't even mention your parents yet. They're probably like, what? Are we just, they're probably just thinking.
I was getting there, my cat, my parents, my hoppers.
My mom, Uncle Bill.
Yeah, my mill.
The Adams.
We got to see all the friends, the Longs, everybody.
Yeah.
So it was nice to be home. It made it more sad leaving, but although we had a good week this week.
After about looking for the SUV for about 3 hours, I'm like, so that race car in Kentucky sounds really good right now.
I was so exhausted.
I was ready to go back to Kentucky.
I was ready to sit down and cry.
Screw this.
But it worked out. And the good thing is we have 4th of July coming up. One of my favorite holidays because we get fireworks. So
not Billy's fireworks.
The problem is this year we're not going to get to be at Billy's fireworks show. That's my favorite the past 2 years, 3 years since I've been with him. My favorite thing has been 4th of July at Billy's house because he always gets a bunch of fireworks and he blows them
And
off.
desserts.
But not only does he get a bunch of fireworks to fire off, he always makes each person light at least one fireworks. Even my mom fired off a firework last year.
We got a family friend who has no sense of awareness when he shoots fireworks. So he'll light it, stand there, and Uncle Bill's like, "Run! Dude, what are you doing? Run!" And he'll like, "Oh, it's lit." So you remember what I'm talking about, don't you? You remember that?
So we are gonna miss getting to be home for 4th of July, and my parents are still going over to see Uncle Bill's fireworks. But we did find out we are gonna go, I think, tomorrow night to go see Symphony and fireworks in the park.
Say it right.
Fireworks.
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 Anyway, it's alright, because we got 4 minutes, and Hannah talked to him. Anyway, I got my backseat driver up. I better not show that. You might get in trouble. Oh well. So my new single comes out at midnight on Friday morning. Midnight is not
I
night.
thought it was midnight tonight.
Midnight tonight was this morning. Tonight.
That's too much to wrap my brain around.
If you have an AM, what is it?
Morning.
Midnight.
Just say this morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Midnight tonight.
It's not tonight.
Okay, so it comes out a minute after 11:59 tonight.
No, it's not tonight. It's morning. We got AM
That's
this morning.
what I said. A minute after 11:59 tonight.
I got you. So
that makes more sense.
It comes out midnight in the morning.
All right. How
on
about you
July
say
1st.
midnight tomorrow?
It comes out July 1st at 12 a.m.
I like
Eastern
that
Standard
better.
Time.
I'm not gonna see it till the morning though.
So it's called The Father Speaks. That's my first debut solo. First debut. Duh. That's the same thing. That's my debut solo single. Oh, good grief. That's a good way to start off our music career, isn't it? Anyway, so go stream it, go download it. Actually, don't buy it because it's priced wrong. So stream it for now.
Fix it.
Well, I got to figure out. I've never done it before.
Oh, okay.
I looked last night. The song was $10. I was like, oh, hey, whoa, wait a minute.
I mean, if anybody wants to buy it for $10,
I'll make sure.
we'll
Go ahead.
take it, but
I'm stupid.
but I wouldn't if I were you.
Give me your jar. I'm taking your jar back.
Why? It's empty.
There you go. Take it. Whatever. You're fired from the show.
I love his song. It's okay.
Anyway.
Because I'm special and I've gotten to hear it.
Anyway, so we got a minute for NASCAR. Chase Elliott won Nashville, and the crowd went.
Woo.
Everybody clapped.
Yay! Me and Jonna are happy.
We mentioned these names. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
My little unofficial nephew, Jonah Hemming, who is 5 years old.
Getting old. Anyway, so Jonah, our pastor friend's son, is happy because Chase Elliott won. I'm mad because Larson.
I'm happy because I like
Larson need to get his head out of his butt and win a race.
Stinker.
Yeah. So
You.
Jonah's happy. Oh well, I'm just honest. It's like being a West Kentucky
You're
fan.
mean to
You just gotta be
your-
honest.
your people.
All right, the show's over. All right, you want to pray? So what we're gonna do this week? We're doing fireworks tomorrow, which is Friday.
I think
That's
we need to
single.
go see a movie.
We will. We'll probably see Elvis. And well, there's no church Sunday. Might go to Elevation maybe. I don't know. I don't feel like sitting in church 3 hours.
I still want to go to Elevation though.
But we got Road America to watch this weekend, and hopefully Larson will do the sweep this weekend.
Might try and hang some pictures, do some organizing around the house.
So anyway, all right.
Hammock.
28 minutes in, we need to pray.
You've got 1 minute. It'll be a 1 minute prayer.
All right, Lord. Oh, that's that back. Sorry, I gotta stop doing that. All right, for real this time. Lord, thank you for this moment in time, this moment in history. We're thankful that this country has repealed things like Roe versus Wade, not in a way to tell people what to do with their bodies, but give people a chance at life, to give people a chance to be the next great thing, not the way to glorify themselves, but be the next doctors, the next teachers, even greater parents, and lead the next generation. Because anything created by you is precious, whether it's the smallest child or from the oldest man or the oldest woman. It all has life. It all has life breathed in from you, and we're just thankful for everybody. And Lord, I just pray that the concert we played last week, people were impacted by the things that you did through us, not by our own power, but everything that your gospel and your spirit has done. And I just pray that people who hear this can have a relaxation, can see our hearts behind this, and can have some joy, earthly joy. And let us be the light of Jesus everywhere we go. In Jesus Christ's name, we all pray.
Amen.
Amen. I'm tired. Should we do the outro? Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're
Go ahead.
supposed to do it at the same time.
1, 2, 7. Alright, that's all I got. That's alright. That's alright. Hit the.
Ow!
Sorry.
Who hit my elbow?
Hit the stop button.
You hit it.
Oh, it's gonna run out of film anyway. I'll just let it run out.
Oh, my arms broke.
Oh, I'm tired.
My arms broke.